So hello and welcome to today's Q&A session with Titan Minerals. I'm Jane Morgan, Investor and Media Relations Manager, and we have an exciting update for the investment community regarding a significant milestone for Titan. So today I'm joined by Melanie Layton, Managing Director of Titan Minerals, to discuss our recently announced joint venture and earn-in agreement with Hanrine, a subsidiary of Hancock Prospecting, for the Linderos Copper Project in Ecuador. Mel, thank you for joining me.
Thanks, Jane. It's great to be here and giving everyone an update.
So, Mel, let's start with the big picture. So, Titan has just entered into a joint venture and earn-in agreement with Hanrine for the Linderos Copper Project. Can you give us an overview of this agreement and what it means for Titan?
Well, first and foremost, what it means is we have secured a pedigree partner with both the technical capacity or capability and the financial capacity to explore and develop the Linderos Copper Porphyry project to its full potential. So, for Titan shareholders, they're free carried, they're non-diluted until Hanrine earn up to 80%, or by reaching a decision to mine, or by investing $120 million US in the project, whichever comes first. So significant for Titan shareholders in that regard. And what it also means is we get an upfront cash injection of US $2 million for an initial 5% of the project. So those funds we can spend at our discretion, and they will most likely be directed towards exploration and resource drilling at the Dynasty Gold project, later this month. And then we also secure another US $1 million payment once Hanrine reach 51%. So cash injection and expenditure commitment in the ground, they're all great outcomes for our shareholders.
Absolutely. And so just back to Linderos, what stage is the copper project currently at? And how does this agreement impact your immediate next steps?
Yeah, so the stage of the project is, I would regard it as relatively early, intermediate exploration stage. We have conducted some exploration drilling at the project. We demonstrated copper porphyry mineralization from extremely shallow depths there. And so we've demonstrated one porphyry by drilling. There's certainly a significant amount of other work in terms of geochemistry and geophysics that tells us that there's probably many more copper porphyries at the project itself. So relatively early stage in terms of exploration, but this agreement means immediate next steps are initially, Hanrine intend to get on the ground and do their earn-in commitment via spending in terms of drilling. So an initial 10,000 meters of drilling will form their second earn-in for an additional 25%. So the US $2 million upfront was to earn 5% of the project, and then another 10,000 meters of drilling to earn the additional 25%. And their intent is to get on the ground effective immediately. Their team is standing by. They're ready to get started. They've been running in parallel, organising logistics for the past 3 weeks. They're looking to set up the camp in October. First drill rig deployed in November, and a second rig to be online in December, January. So that's their intent, to really hit the ground running there.
Wonderful. And so just back to the milestones. So can you elaborate on the key milestones for Hanrine to earn their interest in this project, and what kind of timeline investors should expect?
Yeah, that's right. So I guess from the top, the initial US $2 million upfront for 5%, and that's effectively payable within 30 days of execution of the agreement. We've already received $250,000 down payment of that after we've signed the initial binding terms. But so there's a $1.75 million US cash component still to come in. And then that's followed by 10,000 meters of drilling, or US $8 million for an additional 25%, and that brings them to 30% at that point, and that's within 3 years, followed by an additional 15,000 meters of drilling, or US $12 million spent within 7 years, and that's to earn the additional 21% and to bring them to 51% in terms of a majority ownership, at which point we get an additional US $1 million cash payment. And then thereafter, their requirement is to complete all studies and work streams to reach a decision to mine, or a total expenditure of US $120 million, whichever comes first, to earn the final 29%, which brings them to a total of 80% earned. And they've got 15 years to get to that point from now.
So this joint venture clearly provides Titan with significant financial support and expertise. So what do you see as the long-term vision for the Linderos Copper Project?
Yeah, well, look, we do believe that Linderos has the potential to be a large-scale, long-life copper porphyry mine. Copper Ridge is the only porphyry at the project that we've currently drilled to date. We've demonstrated copper, gold, and molybdenum mineralisation effectively from surface there. And there's a pipeline of several other copper porphyry targets at the project that are yet to be explored, and drilled. And, we believe that, at some point in time, to fill that looming copper supply gap, that these types of projects will come online and fill that gap. So we see Linderos as being a copper mine at some point in the future.
Look, so it's clear that this partnership with Hanrine brings substantial benefits. How will Titan be positioned throughout this earning period?
Yeah, look, we'll be really well positioned. So, like I said earlier, Hanrine, through their head company, Hancock Prospecting, have got obviously a very strong balance sheet, and they will be the project manager at Linderos. They have the team already well established in Ecuador. They've been actively exploring and developing copper projects in Ecuador for several years, more than 5 years now. Our understanding is that Hancock, through their subsidiary company Hanrine, they intend to establish themselves as a long-term copper producer in Ecuador. And I think to be a part of that is a fantastic outcome for all of Titan shareholders.
Absolutely. And just before we wrap up, Mel, what message would you like to leave with our investors regarding Titan's future?
I think the future is incredibly exciting for Titan shareholders. We've got exposure to that large scale, long life copper, to fill that looming supply gap. But then outside of that, we also at this point in time are seeing record high gold prices. Gold broke through 25.60 today, US an ounce, and we've got a 3+ million ounce gold project in our Dynasty Gold project, and we're looking to grow that to +5 million ounces. We're working towards building a multi-million ounce, long life gold mine in an emerging jurisdiction, crying out for an industry that will revitalize their economy, and a government that is fully supportive of mining going forward. So look, I think Titan's extremely well positioned with both copper and gold in a jurisdiction that's very favorable going forward. So wind in the sails right now for sure for us.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Mel. Exciting times ahead for Titan, and we look forward to future updates as campaigns get underway. But thanks for joining me.
Great. Thanks very much, Jane.
And thank you all for tuning in here today. If we've got further questions, please feel free to reach out via the contact details on the bottom of our ASX releases.